Now you guys are probably wondering as to why I didn't talk about Darkseid in an earlier video. Well, this is mainly due to the fact that I want to talk about two of the greatest DC villains in the same video. Now NetherRealm has been spoiling us lately because we finally got to see Darkseid's gameplay. And as you could imagine from Darkseid, it is glorious. Now before we get to Darkseid, I want to talk about the final character reveal, which is of course the Joker. And as I could imagine, this one might be a little decisive, because everyone was praying for it to be Red Hood. Deal with it, Red Hood will probably be DLC. Now in terms of the Joker's gameplay, it is very close to the original Injustice game, as you could imagine. And he still is very reliant on his crowbar as well as some of his gadgets. Now what I've noticed about the Joker's new moveset is the fact that you could actually shoot out a typical Joker bullet, in which has the traditional bang, only for it to blow up at the opponent's face, which is very good. And also the Joker is capable of using his traditional buzzer as well. Now I can't remember from the top of my head whether he had this attack or not in the first game, or whether this is a new variation of that attack. But either way, this looks really awesome. And also the Joker could throw his own crowbar this time around, which is very interesting. But the Joker's super in this game is a sight to behold, as his super move is a complete Easter egg of Jason Todd's death, as the Joker uses his crowbar multiple times, only to electrocute his opponents from what appears to be an electrocution chamber, and then finishes off with a bang with a bunch of dynamite from underneath the chair. Now as you would imagine, the Joker's design in this game would be up for debate, as some people might have been expecting something completely different instead of the final product. But to be perfectly honest, I'm actually okay with this design, because I can see what they're trying to go for, which is of course an amalgamation between Jared Leto's and Heath Ledger's Joker. And plus, this is most likely going to be the Joker from an alternate timeline. And even with that being said, I could imagine that in the gear system we can actually alter the Joker's design so that he could look a lot more like the original Joker. And I'm a bit sad that Mark Hamill isn't voicing the Joker this time around, but I suppose he's busy with Star Wars. And if you look at this interpretation of the Joker, I don't think Mark Hamill's voice would even fit this version of the Joker, because he looks like a more edgy and grungy take on the character. And what's interesting about the Joker's bio in the Injustice 2 website is that it doesn't explain as to how the Joker is back in this game. As the bio reads, although killed by Superman, the Joker continues to haunt the lives of those touched by his madness. By destroying Metropolis, he set the events in motion which made the enemies of Superman and Batman. If he were alive to see the chaos he created, he would surely be smiling. Now when I read this bio, I can't help but feel that the Joker might only appear in flashbacks, but then what with this new design? Unless they're going to do something crazy with the Joker and have this version of the Joker be someone else, like in a similar vein to how Damian Wayne was Nightwing in the first Injustice game. Now I could be wrong with this speculation, but who knows. And even with that being said though, I'm still happy with the way the Joker looks, and I can't wait to see what he has to offer with Injustice 2. And the day before the Joker's reveal, we actually got to see more gameplay for Darkseid. And whenever I watch Darkseid's gameplay, I just can't help but think of Shao Kahn, but in the best way possible. Now for starters, Darkseid is another one of these characters who could easily teleport. And yes, Darkseid heavily uses his Omega Beams, which to me looks like the most deadliest projectiles in the game. Whether you'd want to use his Omega Beams to finish a combo, perform devastating grabs with his Omega powers, or have his Omega Beams go behind someone and attack the opponent. And you cannot deny that that is very badass. But I really love about Darkseid and how he uses his basic attacks is the fact that he has his hands tied behind his back and doesn't even bother to show his true potential, which is very true to Darkseid's character. And it just tells us that Darkseid is leagues above anyone else in the Injustice 2 roster. Darkseid can even summon his parademons, whether you'd want them as additional projectiles or just use them as suicide bombers. Now it's no secret that Injustice 2 has some crazy super moves, but Darkseid is no exception, and if anything he probably has the best super in the game. Because of how insane his Omega Beams really are and that they go in whatever direction they want, I'm going to assume that this super move is inescapable, as Darkseid proceeds to wipe the floor with the opponent across the galaxy. To which he proceeds to create a giant portal only for Darkseid to use his giant hand and grab the opponent, only for him to drag his opponent back to the stage. And this super is very hard to top. And if you ask me, then I think that NetherRealm has really nailed the character of Darkseid. Based on this moveset right here, I have a feeling that Darkseid might be the most overpowered character in Injustice 2. And rightfully so, because he's only a pre-order exclusive. So do you want to pre-order Injustice 2 so that you could finally have your hands on Darkseid? Are you also excited for the Joker's return in Injustice 2? And who are you more excited to see in Injustice 2? The Joker or Darkseid? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.